All right, guys. I started a new client the other day that's having a lot of problems with a big, strong, powerful dog. Major problems, a lot of aggression. Dog takes off, dog runs away, dog lunges at everything on leash, dog is a menace inside the home. There's too many things to mention, right? And I did tell them I was going to talk about this. They said it was fine. I'm just not going to mention who it is, right? Or even what kind of dog. So when you do see the dog, you don't know. But I thought this was so important, guys. These people are trying to do the right thing. They really are. They're working very hard. And they've been to several trainers. They started off purely positive. Very quickly, they found out that turning your back or clapping your hands real loud and doing things like that and bringing better treats and more fun toys, they found out very quickly that that doesn't work. Then their next trainer was very opposite. The e-collar went on day one. When your dog shows you this behavior, you start blasting away. Blast away. All the way up, highest level, hold that button down till the dog stops. Well, guess what? That didn't work either, and the behavior got worse, much worse. So anyone who knows me, when I do private lessons, I'm always going to be outside waiting for people to pull up, okay? Because I could tell those first 30 seconds what we're dealing with. So they pull up, they get out of the car, and I'm watching. And the dog's struggling, the people are struggling, but I'm watching the e-collar. And I see that red button going bang, 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 nonstop. And I'm just watching. I'm just watching this. And I said, "What are you doing right now?" They said, "Nothing." I said, "No, you are." I said, "Why are you hitting the e-collar?" "Well, he's doing this. We're trying to beat him to the punch. We don't want him to do this. We don't want it to progress. We're trying to be proactive." I said, "Okay." I said, and I've talked about this too many times, guys. I said, "Is it working?" They said, "Well, no." I said, "Has it ever worked?" They said, "No." I said, "Then why are you doing it?" I said, "I don't know what else to do." Okay, fair enough. Totally understand, okay? So let's not just stop hitting the e-collar. Let's take it off. We're going to remove that immediately. We're taking the prong collar off, and we're going to put a slip lead on the dog right from day one. That's all I'm going to go into that, but I want to explain something to you. And again, I talk about this all the time. I see it at our seminars. When people walk into my seminar, or the ones I do with Joel and Jay, a lot of times you see the dog with the e-collar on, and I'm always watching. I'm always watching what everyone does because I like to get a handle on people, right? And I see it all the time, that red dot going off on the receiver all the time. People are hitting the button constantly, nonstop. It's almost like a pacifier for them. It's their binky, it's their comfort to have that remote in their hand, hitting the button, and you see it doing nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. And the more you do that, the less it's going to do. So I'm going to explain a little bit to you. Actually, this just took place this morning, so this is perfect, right? Many of you know Dante, my young German Shepherd. He is 19 months old now, okay? Extremely high drive, lunatic of a dog. He's a lot. I have given him 4 corrections on the e-collar, and this morning was the 4th. And all 4 were planned. Every single one was planned. I knew when I was going to use it, how I was going to use it, and why I was going to use it. They were all planned, okay? I showed you the first one, maybe the second one too, I can't remember, but I showed you and I explained to you what I was going to do and how I was going to do it. That's when I had all 4 dogs out and we were playing ball, and I told you, Dante's not going to get the ball. And what he's going to do is he's going to run up out of frustration behind Luca, and he's going to go to bite Luca on the back end out of frustration. And I said at that moment, the second he goes to lay those teeth on him, I'm going to correct him with that e-collar with a quick tap at a higher aversive level and stop that. And I showed you guys that. I showed you his response and I showed you the aftermath, which was nothing. Nothing changed except he no longer did that behavior, right? The extent of Dante's e-collar training was like all of my other dogs. Very short, very little. Few days, make them very, very knowledgeable of what is expected and what that tool means, and then we're done. And then it's there if I need it. That was the first time. Second time was when we're done training or playing and we're going back into the yard or into the house, he has a tendency to sometimes come running like we're going in and then turn around and say, no, I don't feel like going right now. That was the second time. I fixed that issue with the e-collar. Didn't have to destroy the dog, right? Didn't crank it to 100 and hold it down for 10 seconds, right? I just made it very quick and very clear. That's not what I asked you for, buddy, right? And when the dog understands, there's no confusion. You don't kill the drive, you don't kill the spirit, right? The third time was very close to that, maybe same day or close to it. A lot of times when we do go in where his crate or his pen is, I'll tell him kennel up or crate up or whatever, and a lot of times he'll just go flying past it. Now I want to go see what's around the corner. That was the third time. Those were the 3 times I corrected him with the e-collar. 3 times up until that point. Today was the 4th, and I knew I was going to do it, right? I don't use the e-collar in obedience. I don't teach anything with the e-collar. And as a matter of fact, with my own dogs, it's very limited on how I use it. I use it for when we go out in public and they're off leash, just for that what if moment. That's how I use it. It's there if I need it. My other 3 dogs, I couldn't tell you the last time I had to use an e-collar because I just don't have to, because we train the dogs, right? Now with Dante, today was the 4th time and I knew what I was going to do. I was out before his breakfast, working on a little obedience, working on the train retrieve. And then I was working some positional stuff. And I was working on the middle position where he's heeling between my legs. And he has a tendency that when I start making it difficult, where I start adding turns in with between, sometimes he'll just go out and do his own thing because he feels like, right? He's like, I don't like you turning into me like that. So today, I knew I was going to fix that. I was going to let him know you can't do that on your own, right? And so today was the 4th time I used the e-collar to correct him for that. So what we did was, again, I started with the retrieve, then we were doing some healing, then I was going some sit, some down, some stays in motion, all different things. And after doing some healing, then I put him in the middle and we were doing some regular middle healing and I'm rewarding. And then I was doing some big turns and I'm rewarding and he's good. But now when I started making it a little more difficult on purpose, where I'm making sharper turns to the left and especially to the right, now he decided, hey, I don't like that. That feels weird. And he just walked out on his own. At that moment, that was the 4th time I corrected him with the e-collar, right? And it wasn't on the lowest working level. It was aversive enough to where he was like, I don't like that. That sucked, right? And then I put him back in position and he didn't do it anymore. And he won't do it again because I made it very clear to him, you can't do that. I'm asking you to be here now, right? So now for a split second, now he wants to go to the middle when I'm calling him to a heel because he thinks, oh, if I don't go there, now I'm going to get corrected. That lasted about 10 seconds. So I show him, no, buddy. When I say heel, it's heel. I don't want to correct him or add pressure in the heel position because I want him always thinking that's a great place to be, right? If I have to add pressure there, it's fine. I'm going to do it in a very smart way where it doesn't affect his drive and excitement for the position. But I wanted to first add it in the middle position, which we won't be using in competition or anything like that. I hope that makes sense. But here's the next thing. It's not just important that I correct him so he doesn't leave the middle. That transfers to everything else with his overall obedience. That, hey, when I ask you to do something or not to do something, buddy, you have to kind of do it even when you don't want to. And that is something that so many people overlook. That's really important to be consistent and fair with the dog, guys. Because letting a dog do something over and over and over that you don't like or don't want, and you just keep getting annoyed and keep saying no and keep saying words that have no meaning and keep getting frustrated, it hurts your overall relationship, and it hurts the clarity, it hurts the communication, it hurts everything, right? So we're always going to be fair to the animal. He's 19 months old. That was his 4th correction with the e-collar. So you folks that have a trainer that wants you hitting that button for everything, or if you're just an everyday dog owner and you think that that's normal, or you're an inexperienced dog trainer that's every single day, in my opinion, the training is extremely flawed, right? I'm not a perfect trainer, but if you're using that tool all the time for everything, it becomes less and less effective, right? I'm extremely effective with it because I don't use it very often. And before I ever use it in a way like that, I make it clear to the dog exactly what it is. And I make it in a way where it never kills the drive. It never leaves the dog guessing what I want. I help him, I show him, I make it clear. So then later on down the road, just like I did those 4 times, when I need to stop something, the dog never gets down in the dumps. You don't see the head down, the tail down, looking sad because he's like, you got me. I know exactly what that is. I won't do it again. That's truly loving your animal. You make things fair, you make things clear, and you make things better. You make yourself better, and you make the dog better. 4 times in 19 months with an extremely high drive working dog. So think about the person with the couch potato pet dog that's getting hit with that e-collar 10, 20, 30, 40 times a day. It makes no sense, and you're destroying the animal. Okay? Peace.